Today we are so excited. We're going to have the beard guy with us, aka Norm. Super exciting, huh? Yes. Hello, Norm.
Hello, how are you? Oh, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello, Norm. Good to see you again.
You too.
Yeah, great to see you, Norm. So we've always usually seen you, interview people. So for a change, you are on the other side of the mic.
Oh, the interview thing. That's a COVID project.
Turn the tables on Norm.
Yeah. Now the nerves are really kicked up.
Yeah.
Alan's up and about.
Alan's up. Alan's still up. Wow.
Oh, Alan. I know Alan. How are you, Alan?
There you go.
Alan, it's Friday night. Why are you here watching a webinar with us? You should be out and about.
8:30 on Friday night, and Alan's at home.
Wow. In Singapore, 8:30, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So the topic that we're going to be covering today is influencers for e-commerce and Amazon. And Norm has a very, very special announcement that he will make at the end of the show. Super exciting. And you're going to hear it for the first time here on our show. But before that, let's get started. We'll ask Norm a few questions about influencers. And then, guys, if you have any questions for Norm, feel free to type them in the comments and we'll ask. I'll read them out to him as well. But before we start, Norm, do you want to give an introduction and tell people about you and your background and what you've been doing so far?
Yeah, sure. And it'll be a very short Reader Digest version. So I got started in e-com 25-ish years ago in the mid-90s. And it was completely by fluke, but my first website was then. Kind of led me down the path of, this is a passion of mine. But I also was involved early on with getting involved with some manufacturing in North America. This is family through multiple companies in Canada and the United States. But then we decided that we were going to go over to Taiwan and open up 2 companies, which sold a few years back. And we still have a factory that we're operating in China today. But I got involved with specialty packaging. I got involved with sourcing. So still have a sourcing company today. Got into just so many different things surrounding e-commerce. So when Amazon came around and I was introduced to it, it was just sort of second nature to kind of get involved with it. So I had all those areas, including the social media side, the SEO side. I had a website company at one time, a tech hub, an incubator out in Tampa. So this was perfect. It was like, oh my gosh, it just kind of fell in my lap. Complete luck. So that's how I got involved with Amazon. And then I've gone on to have my own Amazon managed service company, a content marketing company, public relations company, the sourcing and logistics company, sort of I wanted to create something that was vertically integrated that could suit all aspects of online marketing.
Right.
That's Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done a bit of everything there, no?
A little bit of everything. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about influencer marketing specifically. So first of all, how do you define influencer marketing?
Well, that's interesting because different people have different ways of defining influencer marketing. But really, for me, it's the collaboration between a brand and a network. Some people will say it's a collaboration between brands and influencers. Well, that influencer is really all about the network. It's the reach that network has, and that's either through social media or a blog. It's finding the right network, and actually there are many other types of influencers that we'll get into a bit later, but it's finding that niche with the right personality that will keep your brand top of mind. Now, the traditional or the celebrity type of influencer marketing is really a one-off. And that's, they'll either have it in the background or they'll show a picture of it and put it and blast it out to their, million viewer audience. But the other one that I like to create is the long-term relationship, friendship, community type of influencer, which is completely different than the paid influencer market. And so there really is two different types, even more, of influencer marketing.
Right, makes sense. So specifically for online and e-commerce, are you seeing an increase in influencer marketing?
Well, how does 3,500% over 3 years, sound? It's crazy.
Astounding.
It really is. And I don't know if it's because of just media hitting people up and talking about it. But the other side of the fence, like for me, I'm taking a look really at the rise of the micro brand. And this has been happening for years. And so people have to have authority. So to get authority, you have to have trust. And to build trust, you're either going to do it with like a press releases, content. It might be your brand. So if you have a brand on Amazon and people are looking for you, you've got a quality social media network or a quality site. Well, guess what? You need to have social proof. It's just like a testimonial. So one of the things and one of the reasons why you're seeing this huge increase is, believe it or not, influencer marketing brings you a higher quality customer. If I'm going out there and I'm saying, hey guys, and this is all on a much smaller influencer basis, but if you're going out to a group that has 1,000 to 10,000 people and you're saying, hey, look I trust this brand, and you're telling it to a small group of people, well, those are high quality customers that are going to come. They trust your network. It's a lot different than if you're going out to, a sports celebrity or an entertainer, and they just kind of have it in the background. People see it because of the masses. Oh my gosh, Kylie's using it, I have to use it. Different type. But if I'm going out on my social media and I have a small group, let's say 1,500 people, look what I'm using, or I'm drinking something, people trust that. The other thing is, and I'm going to go back to the rise of this micro brand, is back in the day, I'm talking back in the day when I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, there were really no standout brands. We had to go, like, I think when Jordache came out with their jeans, Polo came out with their, oh my God, $35 cologne. How can you get people to do that? Well, they had to build authority and trust. Now we're doing that exact same thing with micro brands. And the way we're doing it, instead of the tons of media that it took, mostly television, radio for Jordache or Polo, billboards, we do it through social media. And remember that a picture really is 1,000 words, especially in social media. It's probably 10,000 words. It's better than a testimonial, in my opinion. And it also allows either the buyer or the seller very easy access to the product. But you have to be very careful. We can get into this later on. Many influencers are fake. So that's the key.
So Norm, what's the difference between an influencer and a brand ambassador?
Okay, well, first of all, there are different types of influencers. Probably the first two are best for what I do, anyways. A nano influencer is somebody that has 1 to 10,000 people, a very small network of people. You would probably try to reach out to multiple nano influencers, and with that, you would gain just masses that way, rather than a one-off. And in this case, usually a nano influencer is somebody that you could become friends with. You build a really special bond with these people, which I'll get to with the brand ambassador. So either you can go out there and just get a nano influencer and they're promoting your product, very small group, so you get that high trust value. Then you've got your micro influencer, which really is around 10,000 to 100,000. And that's still an incredible group, again, for long-term. Influencers are people that are over 100,000. So now you're getting into celebrities, people that are getting paid a lot more money for the most part. And an influence, when you're talking about any of those three types of influencers, they can all be brand ambassadors. But for me, a brand ambassador is somebody who just loves your product. They're passionate about their product. They typically don't get paid. They promote your product all the time. They just love it. And they'll promote it for free for the most part. They'll provide images. They'll provide videos. It's building up a rapport with an influencer. So they're still an influencer, but they love your brand. Completely different than the one-off, you pay $5,000 and they put it in the background.
No, can I ask what different types of influencers we're talking about?
Yeah, so that's what I'm like. So the influencers, there's really those three that I was talking: nano, micro, and then the influencer. So those are the three types of influencers that make up influencer marketing. Now, some people we've broken it down into those terms, and you'll see micro influencer a lot, but we break it down even further. So that one, the 1 to 10,000, 10,000 to 100,000, 100,000 and up, and those are all influencers, but they all could be brand influencers. It's the first two groups that really are the brand influencers, the brand ambassadors.
So what's the objective of influencer marketing, i.e. the increase, the reach, the branding, and the sales, or all three?
It's morning. I have to have a cup of coffee.
you and me both, no?
Well, that's a really good question. So, when you're doing influencer marketing, people don't realize that you're building a brand. You're building your brand awareness. So going back to authority, and then you have to have trust if you're going to buy a product, especially if they don't know your product. And a lot of the times, Amazon, even if you have $50,000, $100,000, $1 million of sales a month, you are still a micro brand. Most people don't know your name. And a lot of sellers, when they get especially higher, they get this ego that everybody knows their brand. And it's just not true. So this is one way that you can build brand awareness. And it's just by the reach that these influencers have and the trust. You can reach your ideal audience. Going back to, I haven't mentioned about, you can create some really incredible backlinks, which is really important, which can go back to Amazon or can go back to your social media. And you can generate some really cool leads that you've never had before and drive sales. But at the end of the day, your nano or micro network can reach hundreds of thousands of people with hundreds of thousands of leads. For sales, just think of it this way. Amazon now is trying to build a social community. It's right there. Amazon Posts, Amazon Live. Well, just think about being able to get 1,000 images and videos a month of social proof that people like your product, that you can put on your Amazon posts and put in live, and you can build followers in Amazon now. But what's interesting is with all of that social proof, guess where it goes, especially with Amazon posts? It goes on your competitor's website. So I don't know about you. I will do anything all day long to be on my competitor's website without having the white background, which will actually drive your eye. That's a whole other game. It's psychological. Is everybody else on page one, you've got white backgrounds. Well, what are they going to see when they scroll down on a mobile app? Oh, this is, it's a pattern interruption. It's somebody actually using the product. And the other real bonus here is that it is incredible for SEO, for Amazon, for your listing, for your ranking, and also for your website listing and ranking. And you can use it all day long for social media.
Wow. So Norm, if I wanted to find an influencer, how do I go about it? Where would I find one? Or how do I approach them to do it?
Well, if you wanted to start off really easy, there are paid platforms. One of the platforms, and this goes back to, I mean, I think ASM was promoting this company years and years ago. I don't know if it was ASM2, ASM3, something in around there, but Thomason. And people, it was the go-to place for to get reviews at the time. People don't realize that Thomason is this huge influencer platform that if you pay, you can go on depending on the package, that you can go generate one of 5 different types of campaigns for influencers. So you can go and set up the campaign that you want. And let's say you want to create a post and you want to create the post. So you actually take the image that another influencer gave you and get other influencers to promote it. You can do this on Thomason. So for very inexpensive, you can put out a campaign and say, who wants to promote this for me? And they come back and they'll either say, a lot of the nano influencers will be, oh, I'll do it for free. So you get free access. They just want to get exposure. You'll get some of the micros coming back between $10 and $75, maybe a bit more. And you can build up these influencers that way. And you could start just getting lots of exposure, and you get to know these people, and you can get them to do all sorts of things, from images to videos. You can tell them what to do. Intellifluence is another one. Again, very inexpensive, very similar to Thomason. BuzzSumo has it's a bit more expensive, but it has great reach for influencers. The one, well, like one of the companies, I have a press release company. So the way that we reach influencers is through a company called Cision. There's my secret. Cision. And they have hundreds of thousands of influencers. You just have to monitor, and you have to, there's a fee to it. It's more expensive, but it's a great network. YouTube. So now we've got, those are the paid ones. So now YouTube has great reach and great influencers. They used to have a program called FameBit, and they changed it over to Brand Connect. That's another one that you can just take a look for. But when you go into social media like Facebook or Instagram, check popular hashtags. See who's the top influencers in those hashtags and go after them that way. Then on Google, you can do kind of the same thing, or you could just type in influencer, check out their blogs. And that's key, by the way. You want to make sure that you go out there and do the proper research, because you want to make sure that they have the right personality for your product as well. But going back to Google for a sec, one of the tricks we have is actually using something old. It's Google Alerts. Put a couple keywords in, and you'll get notified when people are writing interesting articles. Also, there's apps all over the place for popular hashtags. So, you know, if they're free apps that you can go out, type in a hashtag and see what are the most popular words in your niche. And then there's the easiest way to do this. We're all Amazon sellers. So do your own influencer. Find your own influencers. Very easy, very free. In your insert, in your package, say, it could be something like, just tag me. Okay, so take a picture and tag me. So many customers will do this for free because they like your product. They'll put it up. You can repost their insert or their image, their post on Amazon Post. You can repurpose it in your social media. You can run a contest, a contest as well, and get people maybe for like an Amazon gift card or some other type of gift card. You'll get tons of people, depending on your product, to take part in it. And then the last way, and we'll talk about this at the end, we have a proprietary system that we do in our agency that build influencer and brand ambassadors using Facebook Messenger. So this is a unique system, and it does kind of everything that we just talked about. It finds you your influencers, and it builds up your brand ambassador relationships.
No, I'm just with that tagging. Is that not against TOS? Like, you can put those sort of things on a brochure in with Amazon, and that's quite okay with Amazon? They don't have a problem with that?
Yeah. When you're talking about tagging for an influencer to market, we're not talking about reviews. We're not talking about anything. This is when we're talking about influencer marketing, we're talking 100% white hat. Absolutely. This is incredible with influencer and brand ambassador marketing. So this is a little bit off topic. If you do this properly, you will never have to work with rebates. I'm saying I have a rebate management company. I'm cutting my own throat. So
cutting your throat.
Yeah, but we've done this time and time again, where we've actually launched products profitably. Okay, that's profitably, without having to go out and spend $10,000, $5,000, $50,000 on rebates, and it's all done through brand ambassadors. So, and the beauty of it is Amazon's going to love it. Well, they're not going to come out and say that, but I can tell you that it's all white hat. You've got people who love your product, and they're promoting your product for you. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so look, how can Amazon sellers sort of leverage off influencer marketing and increase their sales and get their conversions up fairly quickly?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Oh, can't you hear me? Sorry.
It was a little muffled.
How can Amazon sellers leverage influencer marketing to increase the sales and the conversions?
Well, it's all about awareness. So people want social proof. They don't. First thing you can do is really get rid of those graphic artists that you're doing on Fiverr that have horrible lifestyle pictures where the person's hand has this huge image of your product and it looks completely fake, but you paid $5 and you got away with something really cheap. People don't like those images. But if you see somebody, let's say it's maybe a baby wrap with a mother using your product with the label on it, going for a walk, completely natural, or candid, even if it's like a lot of the times with influencers, you don't want to have a polished shot. You don't want to have it look 100% like it's it's a mixture, but polished shots are not as effective as what I called candid shots, the typical shot that you'd get from somebody using your product. Put it on Amazon, use that once or twice on your listing, put it on your A+ pages, put it in your store, leverage it in your social media, use it on your websites. And what you're doing is that's leveraging the power of the social proof. And it's also like you can back it up with testimonials, but that proof of somebody using your product is going to outweigh anything that you can put into a testimonial. So now remember, when you're seeing this, that's not the only thing you can do. You can leverage the person's network. So if a person's got 100,000 people and you're doing a contest, and the person who wins the contest, you might give out 1 or you might give out 10 units. And that, again, that's 100% for is white hat TOS. It's just a contest. It's not like it's not just giving away product for a review. Okay, and we're not asking for any reviews. But you've got the contest. You've got people that maybe they'll refer a friend. So they'll get a product once they refer 5 friends. Maybe it'll be a loyalty program. So you can build up and leverage any way you want. Plus, if you have a influencer who's got a great blog and they're already driving traffic to that blog, there you go. And the other way that you can that leverage this is, I don't know if a lot of people are doing this, and if you're not, you're missing out on something big, using your social media and repurposing it on social media. So I'm going to call Amazon a social media platform because it is now. So what happens if I put it on post? Okay, great. chances are I will get tons of impressions, possibly some new sales. I'm going to show up on my competitor's post or listing. Oh, by the way, I could take the same image. I could put it over on Instagram. If it's a video, I can throw it over to YouTube. I can repurpose it. I can actually break up the video and just do small 15-second clips. If it's a 3-minute video, I don't know if like we do this a lot of the time when we do a podcast, is that we'll take the clips, we'll put it on video, on a playlist on YouTube. We market that out. We'll take that, put it on Facebook. We'll put it on TikTok. We'll put it, you name it. Oh my gosh, there's so many ways that you can leverage one image.
Yeah. So, Noam, what are some of the no-nos or mistakes we need to avoid?
How do I say this without really people hating me? I'll say it this way. So a lot of larger micro brands feel they're brands. So some people have egos, and when they go out there, they think that these influencers will just drop, to their knees to market their product. Don't go out there and just think that they're going to drop, because a lot of influencers, they get bombarded with opportunity. So my old partner, Wilfred Lightheart, he has a digital blacksmith. He tells me, and he builds engagement. He told me from day one, you can never, don't get engaged before you get married. You can't get engaged before you get married. And it's so true. You build a relationship. So many people go in there and basically just direct message the people, tell them about their product, and the influencer doesn't even look at it. So that's important. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to go out there, find somebody that fits our personality, follow them. That's the first thing. Start posting and commenting, tagging them, and building a relationship. And then, and this takes a bit of time, and then you can get into these influencers that would never have the time of day for you, some of the bigger ones. Make sure that you have clear expectations. What type of campaign? And that's something that I wanted to talk about at the end. What type of campaign do you want? If you want to do a contest and all they're doing is putting it on their blog and writing a blog article, then you're going to be upset. They're going to be upset that you didn't get the type of the type of response, especially like, let's say it's lead generation, and they're just going out there and doing a contest. Okay, big miscommunication. So define the type of campaign. Make sure, this is really important. If you don't have this happened to one of my clients. If you don't have the rights, you got a big problem. So we went out, we had this guy do a really nice, beautiful video for us. We put it up on YouTube, and the guy freaked out, and he contacted him and he said, "You don't have the rights to do this." Well, we paid you. You paid me for this video to put on Amazon, not on. And so we were lucky that that didn't happen. I thought he had the rights. So you get them to just sign off that you have the rights to use this on promotion, in any form of promotion, that it's yours. That the influencer is the right fit. We've talked about that a few times. If there's the ability to find out real stats. So I fell for this years ago where I hired a social media company, and one of my products right now has 100,000 followers. Sounds great. It's wrong. Hardly like 1% is about North American. Everybody out there was just cheap follows. So when Wilfred took a look at this to build my engagement, he said, "You're not going to get anything. Nobody's in North America. Rip it down, start fresh." So same thing with influencers. They can go out there and buy followers, and that does nothing for you. And again, just treating people as if they're numbers. You've got to, nano and micro influencers, you treat them as family. You build up that brand. You have them part of the brand story. You ask them questions. Actually, my partner, Paul Barron, he's doing it, I think, this weekend, where he's got a road trip, and they're all meeting up, his brand ambassadors, and they're getting together. So, you don't do that with just anybody that's, posting or you have on social media. And I think that the final comment was, make sure, again, it's the right fit. I can't stress that enough. If you've got, and I'm not going to go one way or the other, this is all political, but if you've got a product that is more based for the Republican Party, and you're targeting all liberal people with liberal views, you got a conflict, and nobody's going to win from that. So just take a look. That's very broad, but just take a look at the blog writing or the followers or what the person's all about before you engage them.
Wow, that is great information. So guys, if you have any questions, type them in the comments now and I will ask Norm. So Norm, are there any particular product categories that are more suited to influencer marketing than others? Like, I'm just trying to think, apparel or, electronics or cosmetics and beauty products are better suited for sure. But in terms of categories, are there some that are, better for influencer marketing than others?
Well, I think it's almost proportionate to, if you take a look at search volume, competition, and price. If you take a look at those on Amazon, it's going to be the same with influencer marketing. So if you take a look at the supplement category, it's going to be very tough. Everybody does it. It's going to be really tough and it's going to also be more expensive to do something like that. You can do it on a much smaller scale, but to get it out there, to get it onto Amazon Post, there's already a huge jump on it, and you're going to have to fight for placement. Building brand ambassadors, I don't think a lot of people are doing it. So you do have that ability to grow that way. I really don't know of any niche that you can't do this in. So you can have a seasonal product. Paul's got a seasonal product that is not only seasonal, it's just, it would not be a product I would be involved with. So put it that way. And he's got, I think he said he had a total of 18,000 influencers that he's built up. And over the last few months, he's had 2,000 images that have come in. And when he was running a contest the other day, he just put out a quick, just a request to his brand ambassadors. Hey, I need images and videos for this. And he got 30, just like that, like on one request, free. So anyways, if you're in the pet category, that's also huge. If you're looking at babies, that's huge. Very similar. But if you're selling HDMI cables, you can also find people that are influencers in the gaming community, or, just like when you're doing keyword research, if you can't hit a specific niche because it's very hard, what are the areas that affect that product? Or what can, like, an HDMI cable be combined with? So it could be gaming, television, other types of electronics, and you can go after people in that niche. And if it's a great cable, they might promote that. So I can't see. Look, you can do services. So Honu can build influencer, which is the sourcing company I have. You would never have thought that you can have a brand ambassador for a sourcing company. It just, I'll put it this way: lawyers have brand ambassadors. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not only B2C, it's B2B as well, right? I mean, sourcing is B2B, so it can work in that way too.
Yes.
Okay, we have a question from Sastro. It's interesting when you say I have to make friends with the influencer, but when I reach the influencer, do I approach them as a seller or as the brand or the product, or as the company? I guess what he means.
Well, first of all, I want to clarify. Making friends. Making friends is a long-term goal with brand ambassadors, not so much with just your typical influencer. Your influencer, you're reaching out and you're being friendly. You're establishing a relationship, not so much even being friendly, but just a relationship. You're becoming somebody that, I've seen that name before. They're posting, they're commenting. Wow, this is interesting. And yes, you can talk about your brand and say, oh, what do you think about it? And tag the person that you're following. And then they'll see that you're talking about them, about your brand. So I would go out and be talking about my brand, my product, my service, and not talk to them about the just the seller side of things. They already know you're going to be a seller because it's your brand. The other thing is don't promote. It's not about all promotion, right? It would be, and this is also with social media. It's value. You want to give value, value, value. You can sneak in a little bit of promotion, but even with the influencers, you could get them to give you a lifestyle video, or image, but you don't constantly want to ask them to do something or promote. A lot of people make the mistake of, oh, it's 10% off, 10% off, 10% off, 10%. Their feed gets filled with 10% off. People don't. It's like crying wolf. They see 10% off and it's just, oh yeah, it's that company again. Show value with it, get them to take images, get them to show videos. So if there's features or benefits, something you want them to highlight, ask. So I hope that answers your question. It's a relationship that you're building. It's tagging them. It's getting them involved. And again, there's other ways of doing it to get the relationship with the influencer right away.
Right. And how do you compensate these influencers? I mean, is it just offering discounts, or do you pay them per post, or how does that work?
Yeah. There are paid platforms that I was talking about before, like Thomason and Intellifluence, BuzzSumo. There are the Nano Influencers. A lot of the time, you'll see that they do it for free. They'll do it just, they don't have that many followers. They just like the product. They might be getting the product at a slight discount, but very low. There's not a lot of money exchanged. The micro influencers, they do have a price tag usually. They still might be trying to establish followers. So they might still be doing it for free, but $5, $10, $25, fairly inexpensive. When you go to the micro or to the influencer, which is 100,000 up, then you're going to be typically going to pay something probably $100 and more, and more. I mean, 2,500, 5,000 depends on the influencer you go to. There's a lot. This is per image.
Per image that they make with your product.
Yeah. Now, if you take those first two categories and you're talking to them and you can sway them to become a brand ambassador, let's say that you're sending them product, you're getting 15% off or something like that, and you're keeping up a relationship and you're tagging, then you ask them, hey, would you like to be a brand ambassador? Here is a page, and you set up a page with, oh, by the way, if you become a brand ambassador, you get this, you get that. There's a swag bag, and you give them the information, or you give them an opportunity to buy into your brand. And that's key. So if you can get, let's say you're in the baby category and you could get all the moms out there to buy in because they love your brand and they get it at a discount and they get some swag. And then you can start to build that relationship. And now you're getting things for free. These people are pumping out information, pumping it through their network, pumping it through their blogs. And whenever you're doing a product launch, guess what? You've got somebody that's happily buy your product at full price or at a small discount probably.
Right. In terms of social media platforms, what is a good platform to go to for to look for these influencers? Is it Instagram, Facebook groups, or I don't know, TikTok?
You just took away my thunder. You can go to any social media platform. Every social media platform acts differently. I don't do too much with Twitter, but I'm sure that there's a lot of ways to work with Twitter. I know a lot of journalists, bloggers, influencers are on Twitter, but Instagram is my go-to. So being able to search hashtags, contact influencers, that would be the main source for me. Facebook, YouTube is actually quite good with the brand connector. But TikTok, interestingly enough, and Maya Gordon.
Yeah. I've interviewed her.
Yep, she told me this. So TikTok, you go after the people who are huge influencers in TikTok. And if you check out their influencer page on Instagram, you'll find that they either will have very low very low following on Instagram, very high on TikTok. They'll do it you can target them to do something or influence for either free or very low cost. If you're doing the same amount of followers on Instagram, it will cost you a heck of a lot more because the Instagram influencer is used to people approaching them where the TikTok influencer is not. So TikTok is wide open if you can find, as long as it's still available in the US.
Someday.
Yeah, who knows? But it is it's the platform to go to find very inexpensive influencers. So that's something to check out. But all social media platforms have different styles of influencers.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about your big announcement.
Oh,
what is it that you want to tell our audience here?
Sure, but before I get to that, because I think this is important too, is just not as important as my announcement, but but there are different types of campaigns that you want to be aware of. So there is gifting, so you can give an influencer your product in exchange for mentions. Okay, there's guest posting, so they'll write an article on their blog. You can do contests, or giveaways. So you'll give them 5 units of your product to give away to somebody, and their contest could be huge. You can do discount codes, for the influencer. You could do the brand ambassadors. There could be some forms of sponsored content. So there's all sorts of these types of campaigns. And at the very beginning, when I said you have to be clear on what exactly you want, if somebody does a guest post and you really wanted to do a contest, then there's going to be miscommunication. So just be clear on that.
Right.
Okay, now the big announcement. Well, first of all,
drum roll.
Yeah. First of all, I talked to Thomason last night, and they have a package that's $600 a month for unlimited influencers, campaigns. And Dan Fernandez, actually, I got the message early this morning that he's going to forget about the $600. If anybody on this call wants to use or try out Thomason, go over there and put in this code LWN bonus. I'll give you the code. And that $600 package, it gets reduced to $49.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's ongoing. From $600.
Let me say the code again.
Yeah, LWN.
LWN.
Yeah, just lunch with Norm. So LWN. Bonus. Yeah, if that doesn't work, just let them know.
.net. So that's TOMOSON, right?
Yeah. And for some reason, if that code doesn't work when you buy it, just let the on the chat, just let them know that you were listening to this podcast, and you'll make and they'll make sure that you get the $49. So
Wow,
that's
that is a great deal. So
No, that's a really good bonus, Norm. That's excellent.
yeah, and I use them. And the one area that I love using them because it's all about having things in your words. They have 5 different campaigns, and you'll see that you can get the micro influencers, and you can get it's all laid out when you create your campaign. But the one I love is being able to take content that another influencer has given me and doing a campaign to find 20, 30 other influencers to post in my words. So I write the post for them, and they put it through their network. So it's just like press releases. You put it in your words why your company is so great. And same thing with the posts.
I just opened up the website here because
Yep.
I haven't seen it before.
Ah.
So yeah, Thomason. So hate content less, leverage 90,000 plus influencers.
Yep.
That's pretty
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah. So there's other platforms out there, but this is the one that I know best. And Dan's awesome. They've got some great products over there. What you're seeing here is their Amazon products that you can get at a reduced price. However, or no, these are the influencers. I was going to say that they work directly with I think it's called social distribution. Social content distribution is the 5th campaign, which is just incredibly awesome.
Do you use these yourself, Norm? Obviously, you do.
Oh, absolutely. I've been using
Yeah.
Thomason for years.
For
But,
years, yeah.
But I use all of those different types of services. Like, because I have a press release company, we use Cision, and Cision gives us access to 300,000, but the database is much more expensive.
It's enormous, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now the other announcement here. So today, actually for this call, we launched a new website called The Chat Agency, just as it sounds, The Chat Agency. And we were talking about another way to find influencers. So we were trying to figure out, so Shane and I over at PR Reach, we've done $5,000 rebate campaigns. We've done $250,000 rebate campaigns for our clients. So like I said, I have a rebate management company. That's what we do, but it's costing a lot of money. And, even though it gets the rank, it gets you where you want to be, it's a lot of money. How do we change this? So we talked with Paul Barron, and all of a sudden it was like an aha moment. We got a way around the rebate a lot of the time. And it was being able to find the influencers, being able to create and convert influencers over to brand ambassadors, and creating a launch and rank program with maintenance. So not only when you get there, it can keep your product at that position, or at least unless it falls out of indexing, Amazon changes its algorithm, nothing we can do. But there's no rebates.
So how does it work?
By the influencers. The influencers love what you're doing. They love your brand. They're all unique. So at the beginning, we're all finding these influencers through niche audiences on Facebook. So we're targeting them, and then they like the audience. They might take a 15%, they might take 20%. And then after that, we're sending them all sorts of other items or other messages to become a brand ambassador. Once we convert, now it's a family, it's a community. And again, just to give you the power of this, Paul's seasonal, very unique. I'd never get into it. It's just too tough of a market. I think he said he had 18,000 influencers. He had a huge amount of brand ambassadors. He had 1,500 to 2,000 images that he could post. Just too many. Those 2,000 images. So we have it. If you go over to PR Reach right now, if you want, because we do have a separate kind of influencer program, but our images are $100 at a discount per photographer, per influencer. Okay. And just take that by 2,000.
Go on, Mark. What's that?
Too late at night for you, Kev.
Yeah, too late at night for me.
Oops, what happened?
Where,
Did
Yeah.
Norm freeze?
Norm, you're frozen.
Hello?
he's gone away.
He's back.
Oh, there he
Norm's
is. He's back.
Norm's
Uh-oh.
back.
I was lost.
Whoa!
I was lost in
Where'd you go,
space for
Norm?
a second. But let's take a cost that, like, there's going to be people out there going, there's no way I would pay $100 for an influencer. There's a lot of people that do, because you like, just take a look at what a normal photographer would charge for, you know, a setup. But let's go down to $20 an image, and $2,000 or even $1,000. That's $20,000 you would have spent on images for posts. Then you've got to get somebody to post it for you. You get charged there. So Paul has figured that he's probably, over the period of this year, saved about $100,000 to $200,000 in photos that he would never have spent. So that money would have gone elsewhere, but he's now posting everywhere with these images. So this is the reason why we got this thing going. How can we do this effectively, efficiently, make it attractive for Amazon users? Although anybody can use this, we're all Amazon users. And so we created this very unique workflow. Oh, there it is. And look, we just launched it. This is going to be so much more, but we wanted to have something up for this call today. So we'll actually go out, find, it's a done for you service that we're in beta. We're looking for a few more people to help us out in beta. It'll be a very inexpensive way for you to try this out. So that being said, just to let you know what we're talking about cost-wise, there is a $1,000 charge for getting all the workflow being done. Okay, so we have to create it, we customize it. There's tons of work there. And then there's a $750 charge per month. So those people who just fell off their chair, think of how much you're going to be spending on rebate fees, and how much you can how much you can utilize these images. So this is something that from the first month you'll start to get influencers, and then you just build out from there. So that's that. And I do have another area. So just imagine if you could go and take your competition, find out who your competition is. I just did this with a non-alcoholic beverage, and I went in and I found 3 of their competitors. I found out who engaged with their competitors. I found out whether it was a real email or a fake email. So I was able to nail the real email of these people. I found out if they ever bought anything online or if it was a fake account. Then I was able to go and target them on Facebook to buy the product, your product, to put your product that they buy as a competitor's product and get your brand in front of them. Well, we also do something like that in the chat agency. It costs a bit more. It's around $300 to $400 a month, but you just kill it. And I'm talking about, like, this one company had 175,000 followers. We were able to get 17,000, target them, and create a Facebook lookalike audience. So it's both of these components. You don't have to know how the car works. You just have to sit and drive, but we take care of all of that. And if that is not appealing to you, because this is probably for a medium seller, to an upper end seller, a high volume seller, we're also going to create a workflow for you, and you can do it yourself. And it's the workflow, one of the workflows we're working with, where you can go in and try to find your influencers, because I don't want this to look like just a pitch. Okay, that's one of the things I said right at the beginning when we were talking before the call. I want to talk about influencer marketing, not about the chat agency.
Right.
But by the way, thank you for putting the chat agency back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is a need for such a service, because I mean, many a time it's sellers are lost, and they have no idea where to start when it comes to influencer marketing, and it requires a lot of patience. I think that's one of the things that I've realized. So it's not
And a
easy
lot
to
of
do.
time.
A lot of
And the
time.
time. Mm.
Yeah,
A lot of
totally
time.
agree. We get so many people that talk to Marg all the time, and it's all about influencer marketing.
Yeah.
It's a missing link in some regards, and
It's
people. Go on, sorry, no.
Yeah, it's a huge missing link, and people don't understand the power. So let's go back to Amazon posts.
Yep.
Okay. And I hope I'm not going off. Like, tell me if I'm going down the wrong rabbit hole here.
No,
But
let's go wherever we have to go.
Let's go down a rabbit hole, no?
okay, people do not understand Amazon posts enough. So Amazon post was Amazon's response to Nike leaving, because Nike said they couldn't build a brand community on Amazon. 3 days later, they came out with their beta program called Posts. I'm shocked at the amount of people who don't use posts, or if they do use posts, they're doing one post a month, and they think that that's great. It's not. You've got to be able to find engagement, to split test, just like you would on any social media platform. They give you the ability to post for free, unlimited. They give you reports now. By the way, the reports, if you're looking at the reports, if you're just looking at the online reports, you're not getting the same information as if you download the reports. There's 5 extra columns that they provide you with the download reports that really dives a lot deeper into the analysis. But what this will allow you to do is to not only have a post, it's that it gets the person's attention. So it's a pattern interruption. They click on it. Now, if they click on when it says related posts, when you find it on your social app, if you click on the brand, the logo itself, it goes to your own brand feed. And in that feed, you can see that's your area to make sure if somebody's on your competitor's site, they hit your brand. Now, this is your way of sell. You can cross promote. You can put multi posts or listings on a post. You can show your features, your benefits. You can show influencers, social media, unboxing. You can show, we do this one thing with a knife where we sent knives to chefs. We show different chefs and they provide us with recipes. It's engagement. So now we can go in the reports and see, okay, which one of these type of posts were the ones that triggered people. And now we could, okay, this one had better engagement. This one had a better engagement. But here's something that Amazon did that is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It took them it takes you 4 or 5 clicks to get to the product listing from a post. So when you see a post, when you first see a post on any page, either your page or over on your competitor's listing, you have to click it. You either click the brand or you click the post. So when you click on it, now it goes over to a feed. Then you click on that post again, and you can hit shop this product. So you click on it. Now you have a summarized product description. Then you click it again 4 times. Now you're over on the product page. Well, in the e-commerce market, at least my day, if you drove people off of the site over to a landing page and then drove them again to another page, every time you clicked, it was dropping 50% of your audience, 50% of your audience, 50, and it's probably higher. So by the time you've got people on that 4th click on your page, those are people who want to buy your product. So what you're going to notice, the very first thing, if you do a large post campaign, check this out. Go to your reports, your business reports, see what your conversions are for the month before you started posts. Then check out, it'll show you that you'll have 3,000 impressions, 1,000 impressions. We had one post with 200,000 impressions, 200,000. Our average post for this one company is 20,000 impressions. But that's because we're showing up on tons of competitors. So anyways, at the end of the day, we might end up with 5,000 clicks, but those clicks are so highly converted that you'll see a big jump in your conversion rate. So if you're selling at 15%, you'll see it pop up to 20, possibly 30%. It's absolutely nuts. And I believe, I don't have any proof, but I believe Amazon did that for a reason, because you have 4 clicks or 5 clicks, which makes you somebody who actually wants to buy the product. So you'll freak out, like especially if you're an e-commerce person, digital marketer, and you see, 20,000 person and we only got a 2% open rate or a click-through rate. You're going to go, this doesn't work. Oh, yes, it does. Take a look at, the 100 people that went and visited today or off of that one post, add them up. Oh, you got 5,000, 10,000 extra external visitors. And out of those, maybe 30 or 40% bought. And I'm not kidding, 30 or 40% would have bought.
Wow, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't think that posts would, convert so well. That's
Well,
pretty-
Mark, we need some of those customers on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can try it for your products, Mark. I think.
Wow, that's incredible, no?
Awesome. Okay, we have a couple of questions here.
Sure.
So Brenda is asking, how can we as new sellers benefit or use these services wisely? So I think she was referring to your the chat agency service previously.
Yeah. What I would do first, Brenda, is I would try to get some loyal, try to find your influencers the very inexpensive way. If you're brand new, you could put it on an insert. You don't want to go in and do anything against terms of service where, let's say you find the person's email, or if you find the person's address and you're communicating them through Amazon messages, and you don't want to do that. But on your insert, if you have a QR code and you can drive them over to your Facebook Messenger, and then build the flow, like the least expensive way of doing this is, hopefully Paul's going to have this flow done for us. He was working on it for your call, or this call today, so he should have it. You can use it. You can put it into ManyChat, and you can do it yourself. You can go into Instagram and start looking for influencers. You take advantage. If you're a new seller, take advantage of that $49 deal from Dan and go and target influencers in these paid services. Now, one thing I should clarify, the influencers that are in Thomason or in Intellifluence, they're not your typical brand ambassadors. They might fall in love with your product. They are paid. They do this because they get paid, not because they fall in love with something. Okay, so but that is a great way to get some exposure to influencers. So there's a lot of very inexpensive ways of doing it. I would think you can go out to Google, like I mentioned before, and you can look for influencers in your niche and go and target them. See if there's bloggers out there. And just like I said before, you can go and follow them, start commenting, tagging them. You could target them directly if they're smaller. Like if they're a nano influencer, they would be thrilled if somebody reached out to them and said, wow, I've only got 150 people following me, or I got 1,000 people following me, and you want me to represent your product. That would be cool. So you'll be surprised if you put in the work and you don't just take, that people will respond.
Wow, awesome.
No,
Lisa,
sorry, Megla. No, we've got, because of India, we've got people that have got lots of quite unique products. It'd be interesting to sort of see that some of the influencers, how you could sort of bring those, unique products to the fore for some people, because some of the people, the newbies we've got, Mark, that are trying to sell sort of products, Go on, take over, Mike.
Yeah, well, yeah, because some of them are, like it's not, I suppose, the run-of-the-mill products that is normally on Amazon. A lot of them are handmade, custom designed. So there's something really unique,
Different.
designed products.
That'd be easy. Yeah,
Easy?
that would be easy if they
Sounds
like
easy.
the product, if it's in their niche. The more unique, the better. And the other area that you can do there's so many. Okay, I'm an old guy. Facebook groups and all this. I leave to my social media people, but create a Facebook group. Create a group that promotes value in your services. So for me, let's say pet industry, bully sticks, dog treats, dog health, and you create this community. And then you get people to join the community. And then when you start adding like really great quality posts or great quality information, not always promoting or no promoting, people will start to like your page. Now you can go back and ask them to be influencers. This is a very organic way of building a nice influencer or brand ambassador funnel without letting anybody really know.
Right. So Deepika's asking, could you clarify if the $40 or $49 is only for the first month, or will it continue?
I don't like those, get a discount the first month thing. So when I talk to Dan, it is lifetime. As long as you don't cancel, he's going to honor $49 lifetime. So it's every month rather than $600, it's $49.
Right. Awesome. Well, Nam, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all of this great information. I think this is a topic that intrigues many, and it's under leveraged. I think people need to really leverage influencers more, and I'm sure all of this is really going to help people. So thanks a lot for joining us today. And Mark, Kevin, it's bedtime for you now. It's pretty late, huh?
It's nearly midnight.
It's nearly midnight for us, Norm.
It's nearly midnight.
But look, it's lovely to see you again, Norm, and fantastic. Thank you for sort of taking the time to come today.
Oh, my pleasure.
I love your boat in the background there, Norm. Did you?
Oh, thank you.
Did you build that?
No, that's a sourcing project from Vietnam.
Really?
Interesting.
Wow. Interesting.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
I do want to say that if anybody has any questions about influencers, whether you're using or interested in this service or not, just shoot them over, and I'll answer them as quick as I can.
What's the best way to reach you if people want to get in touch?
Oh, I got a new email. I have no idea what it is.
So Norm's got a million emails.
Paul's going to kill me, but he gave me an email. I really do forget it. Sorry, Paul, if you're listening. But
is
just
it book@thechatagency.com? That's on the website. Book@thechatagency.com.
Try that.
That's on the website.
Yeah, so try that. That's good. I have no idea. And if that doesn't work, just hit norm@amz.club, and I'll make sure that the information gets over to the chat agency.
Okay, let me
Norm, have you signed up for sourcing from India?
I would love to sign up for sourcing from India. I think
that's another way people can contact you.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. We've got a new member, Megla.
Yeah, I'll have to add Norm to our group. So Norm,
Excellent.
the email address, did you say it's norm@amzsellers?
Club, CLUB. I believe in communities.
So amzsellers.club, right?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Okay, cool. Let me just display the email address over here. So there, norm@amzsellers.club, in case anyone's interested. Cool. All right, Norm, thank you so much, and we will see you around. Take care.
Fantastic. Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, Norm.
Thank you, Norm.
Bye.
Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.